Hello, hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Now, good morning is where I am. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm in mainland Spain in Europe, and it's a very chilly morning. It is 16 minutes past 8 in the morning here in Spain. It's freezing. It is 0 degrees, which is practically unheard of in Spain. It's been very strange this year, a lot colder. The winter's been a lot colder, or the last couple of weeks anyway, or maybe the last week even. Normally we have quite nice weather up to Christmas, but it is actually, according to my computer, 0 degrees in the south of Spain, and there's a possibility we might get snow. And I've lived in Spain for about 28 years, and we've had snow one time in my area. I mean, you get snow up on the mountains. There are places in Spain, believe it or not, where you can go skiing. But, in the south of Spain, you rarely get snow unless it's up in the mountains. So are we going to get some snow? Anyway, that's a whole different thing, but it really is chilly, which is unusual for before Christmas. Normally it doesn't really get chilly till maybe January, February, just 2 months. So it's a little bit chilly. But anyway, it's supposed to be chilly. It's coming up to Christmas. It doesn't feel right. If it's too hot and sunny coming up to Christmas, the atmosphere is much nicer if it is cold. Okay, so what we're here to talk about today. Now, for those of you who know me, I am a Spanish teacher. I've got some Spanish classes shortly, so I can't stay on too long. But I wanted to come on and talk about this. I just put my banner on. I wanted to come on and talk about this case because they called him the Flirty killer, didn't they? Not the guy who's up in the corner there. This is the victim. And this is Brian Thompson, and he was a CEO of a big conglomerate. Conglomerate. I shouldn't have tried to say that word at this time in the morning. And he was shot literally on his way to a meeting. He was a hooded guy, took out a gun and shot him and killed him. And they called him he was dubbed the Flirty killer because he was seen, when CCTV was looked at, he was seen. Let me show you this picture actually. He was seen in a MacDonalds here with this sort of balaclava thing down. Looked like he was flirting with the cashier. Now, let me tell you, this guy likes his McDonald's because I think he's actually was apprehended in a McDonald's as well. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about this poor guy who was shot. So his family's not going to have a very nice Christmas, are they? And that actually, the family of the guy who did it, they're not going to have a very nice Christmas either. So we're just going to have a little talk about it. And before I have to go. And obviously, this is a case that sort of gripped America, definitely, and if not the world, because it appears, and we don't know the whole story yet, but it appears that Brian was targeted because of his connections to sort of corporate America. And there's a lot of people, believe it or not. I mean, the thing is, murder is wrong, whatever. That is murder, what happened to Brian. And it's wrong. Whether you agree with corporate America or not, or you agree with whatever, it's wrong to kill somebody. Of course it is. But that's what this young man has done. He's only 26 years old. So we're going to talk about it. What we know so far anyway about the guy and the support that he's received. I mean, people have been having T-shirts made up with his, to sort of celebrate what he's done, etc. So, it's a really crazy situation because, when can murder really be celebrated like that? But anyway, so I'm going to light a candle first of all. I'm going to light this candle. This is for Brian and his family. As I say, his family will be having a right before Christmas. Nice Christmas they've got to look forward to. And as always, the candle we light for anyone who needs it, really, anyone who needs a prayer, anyone who's lost in either in a physical sense, people that are missing, cases that we follow, people that are lost mentally maybe, or people that aren't looking forward to Christmas for whatever reason, because Christmas can be magical, but it can also be awful, if you've got sort of problems in your life, or bereavement, or financial. I think financially Christmas is a massive pressure, isn't it, on a lot of families. Okay, so I want to say thank you to all my subscribers, to everyone who likes my videos, shares my videos, anyone who's emailed me, sent me a positive message. Special thank you to my members, of course. Thank you for being members, and I'm thanking my members this year by sending them a little Christmas present. What else? Oh, and I wanted to thank people who send me PayPals, or buy me a Ko-fi, or send super stickers. Any support you give for my channel is very much appreciated. It helps keep the channel going, and hopefully provides the content that you find interesting to watch. So I just want to say as well, this is Vicky Marie Chats Crime. It's not, I'm not a detective. I'm not, a forensic analyst. I'm here to talk to you about cases that I think people will find interesting, or stories that of victims that I feel need to be told. That's the point of this channel. A few little rules. Please don't mention if you join in the chat, please don't mention other channels. Don't dox yourself or anybody else. Don't talk about where you live or give away any of your personal information. That's something that sometimes people do, because people relax in chat. I know that they relax and they feel that they're amongst friends, and they are. But of course, the internet's a big world out there, and you don't know who's watching, who's taking notice. So just be careful what information you give away about you or about anybody else. And of course, be respectful to each other. But my chatters normally are. Okay, so I'm going to say hello to everyone, and then we're going to start looking at this story. Hi, Quizzical. Hi, Heather. I know, yeah, I'm getting earlier and earlier. I'll be doing streams at 4:00 in the morning next, won't I? It's like, yeah, I am an early bird though. The thing is, sometimes I want to do a stream at night. To be honest, last night I could have come on and done a stream about this. But I'm just not a nighttime person, so I'm better get a little bit of sleep, get up in the morning, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Because as well, when you're talking about these cases, when I'm talking about these cases, and especially the victims, I feel like I want to be awake, not half asleep, out of respect for them. So, okay, so now I think you'd have to, if you watch any kind of news, you will have seen information about this case. I haven't reported on it so far, but I've been watching it, I've been following it from when it happened and to the search, the manhunt, if you like, for the killer. So let's talk about the victim first of all. I mean, I'm literally getting my information off Wikipedia because I didn't know anything about this guy. But Brian is, let's share the Wikipedia. So Brian Thompson, he's a businessman, and he was born on July the 10th, 1974. So he's in his 50s. American businessman, and he was the chief executive officer of UnitedHealthcare, the insurance arm of UnitedHealth Group. And he was that from April 2021 until his killing in just a couple of weeks ago. So he was born in Ames, Iowa, and he received a Bachelor of Business Administration with a major in accounting at the University of Iowa in 1997. Now, I'm not going to read out the whole Wikipedia thing, but it's important we know who Brian is as a person. Corporate America. So he's 50. He was exactly 50 years old. He's married. He's got 2 children. So his wife Paulette and 2 children. They will be just the thought of what their Christmas is going to be like. Now, I don't know how old his children are, whether they're adult children, but it doesn't matter. Losing your dad is horrible, however old you are. So I just got, this is my second coffee, so I'm waking up gradually. So I'm just looking at controversies, because what is the motive for this killing? This is the thing that is sort of occupying people's minds. And when we look at the actual, the alleged murderer who's just been arrested, he is, I'm just glad he wasn't an immigrant, because that would be all, wouldn't it? But no, he's not. He's 26 years old. Seems like he's come from a privileged background, Ivy Leaugue student, not like what you would normally associate, because there was what's the word, speculation initially. Was it a hitman, that had done it? Because he just literally was so cold about it, just literally walked up behind him and shot him in the back. I mean, how much more cowardly can you get than that as well? Because whatever this man has done, hasn't done, maybe he was the biggest twonk ever walked the earth, but it's still not right to shoot someone in the back, is it? It's cowardly apart from anything else. So it seems like, let's see. So it seems like Mr. Thompson, Brian Thompson, the victim, it's saying here about controversies that connected him. And he says that in 2021, Thompson was criticised in an open letter from the American Hospital Association regarding a plan from UnitedHealthcare to start denying payment for what it deemed non-critical visits to hospital emergency rooms. Now, you know what insurance companies are like. I think they're all thieves, aren't they? One way. You never find out how good your insurance company, whatever the insurance is for, you never find out how good or bad it is until you actually need to claim for something. And obviously insurance companies, they're rich, most people don't put in claims on their insurance, so it is a cash-rich industry, isn't it? And especially in America with medical care, this is where we're lucky in Spain and in the UK and places like that. I don't think we appreciate sometimes just how lucky we are to get free healthcare, because it's bad enough being ill. But then to think you have to pay for your healthcare, or it's going to leave you with all those bills afterwards. Anyway, so he was criticised for that. And then UnitedHealthcare responded by delaying rollout of the change. And additionally, under his leadership, UnitedHealthcare began using artificial intelligence. I hate artificial intelligence with a vengeance, to automate claim denials, resulting in their customers either incurring significant out-of-pocket medical bills or being unable to receive needed medical treatment. So there's been these controversies. Maybe Brian was behind things that weren't very ethical, but still, at the end of the day, he's been shot and he's dead. He's no longer here. So, it's not, is that acceptable? A lot of people seem to be supporting the gunman, but it can never be acceptable, surely, to shoot someone in the back as they're just walking down the street. So he was known to his friends and colleagues as BT. He was married to Paulette, a physical therapist and a fellow university graduate. They had 2 sons. And at the time of his death, Brian Thompson and his family were residents of Maple Grove, Minnesota. Well, it says Brian and his wife had been living in separate residences in Maple Grove. Maybe they were estranged. So he visited Ireland on several occasions as a UnitedHealthcare sister company. Optum has operations in the country and was known to have enjoyed playing golf there in Donegal. An active supporter of the Special Olympics movement and honorary co-chair of the 2026 Special Olympics, USA Games. And of course, this is what happened to him. So it was on December the 4th. He was in New York for an investors meeting. He left the hotel where he was staying. Now, it seems like the assailant, the man who's been charged with his murder, he knew that he was going to be there, didn't he? So that's a quite. How did he know exactly where he was going to be? Had he been sort of stalking him? Had he been following him? Yeah, so as he was walking along the street at around 6:45, he was shot from behind by a person dressed in a hooded jacket, and he was taken to Mount Sinai West Hospital in Manhattan, and at 7:12 he was pronounced dead. Now let's see. I don't think they've got as far as, they haven't updated it. Wikipedia are normally really quick, aren't they, in updating? But so yeah, following his killing, people expressed dismay, etc. But some people, look, in contrast, many social media users shared their contempt for Thompson, UnitedHealthcare, and the American health insurance system. And the Washington Post said that many people mocked his death and others felt satisfaction. I don't think I could ever feel satisfaction at someone's death really like that. Not when someone was shot in the back. That's not the way to do things, is it? But I don't know. Anyway, one lecturer was quoted as tweeting, "Today we mourn the deaths of 68,000 Americans who needlessly die each year so that insurance company executives like Brian can become multimillionaires." But it's like, of course it happens in Britain as well. Look at Michelle Mone, but if someone went up behind her and shot her in the back, it wouldn't be right, would it? As much as she is, she has profited during COVID, she has profited from people's misery. People do profit from people's misery all the time, really, don't they? But it still doesn't, I don't know. Let me know what you think in chat, but personally, I don't think that is the way to do it. He could have kidnapped him. I'm not saying to people go and kidnap someone, but there are other ways you could do it without actually killing them. Maybe, or he could have sprayed him with paint and drawn attention that way, like the Just Oil protesters do. There's so many other things that he could have done that would have still attracted attention to this issue, rather than actually kill him. It's not a nice. And then he was like flirting with the cashier in MacDonalds as if it didn't matter that he'd taken her life. So I don't think that's a good thing. But anyway, they said one doctor, a physician, told the Daily Beast they sympathised with the family and said the perpetrator should be brought to justice for the killing, but also said that Thompson's role as CEO had led to a great number of suffering Americans on the order of millions. So it's controversy, isn't it? It's a very controversial issue, Yeah, it seems like probably quizzical, isn't it? That it seems like maybe Brian wasn't a very nice person in that sense. And, maybe most people who make a lot of money, they make it on the backs of other people, don't they? That's sort of, there's not many people who make loads of money just from not riding on the backs of other people. So he's not perhaps the innocent victim in that sense, but, it's not a good thing, is it, to do that? It just seems very cowardly. Anyway, that's Brian. He's the victim. Let's see if I can find. Let's see. Now the other thing that is a bit sort of not very nice is, of course, the actual shooting was caught on camera, and it's been all over social media. even sort of social media accounts that I sort of think, quite respect. So I'm going to try and find a video that maybe doesn't show all of it, but God, it's like, if it was your loved one, you wouldn't really want, oh God, I'm putting the wrong name in. You wouldn't want the shooting of your loved one to be all over the telly, would you? All over the social media. But anyway, it has been. So let's see if I can find a video that's not got the whole thing on. Right. So let's just have a look at this. Okay, let's just watch this short video.
Now, the AP is reporting a man with a gun similar to the one thought to be used in the murder has been taken in for questioning in Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, new video obtained by ABC News shows the suspect waiting for Robert Thompson moments before that shooting. ABC's Rena Roy is in New York.
Police sources tell ABC News a man in Altoona, Pennsylvania is being held for questioning in connection with the shooting death of UnitedHealthcare CEO.
Yeah, good. So the video of him, of the actual shooting, and this poor guy, maybe he's a twonk, but at the end of the day, watching him being shot and then keeling over and collapsing in a heap is not very nice to see, if you've got any human compassion. But yeah, so he's waiting here, look, there he is. And he's got this gun, and this guy's just walking along, and he shoots him in the back. I mean, it just seems, whatever he thinks of him, and maybe, as I say, maybe he is a total twonk, but just seems a very not nice thing to do, shoot someone in the back as they're just walking down the street.
In connection with the shooting death of UnitedHealthcare CEO Robert Thompson. They say he has a similar gun to the one used in the killing and was found with a fake ID. The NYPD now sending detectives there. Today, new video obtained by ABC News shows the suspect lying in wait. When the killer spots his mark, he runs across the street and opens fire. In newly released photos, the suspect is seen getting into a New York City taxi about 20 minutes after the shooting.
So he is, as well, he's one of these criminal masterminds that he obviously thought he was clever enough to get away with it. But he was seen on CCTV lots of times. I mean, he's got his mask up there, but as I say, in the MacDonalds, we saw that picture of him where he's flirting with the cashier, and he didn't have his balaclava on. You must know that this CCTV in McDonald's. Or the other thing that I hear quite often when I see of people doing bad things, is always some food involved somewhere. Either they have food before they go and murder a load of people, or they have food immediately after. It seems to give them an appetite. You would think that once you'd kill someone in cold blood, the last thing you'd be thinking about is having a Big Mac. But it doesn't seem that way. It seems like killing someone in cold blood makes you feel like a Big Mac, apparently. I mean, it just, God, life is weird, isn't it? People are weird.
Appearing to look right at the camera.
We feel comfortable. We're getting closer and closer.
Hundreds of tips are pouring in, thousands of police officers working the case.
I don't want to do anything that's going to tip him off that we're on his trail, but we feel really good where we are.
Again, NYPD divers searching a Central Park pond. They hope to find the gun used in the shooting and the bicycle the suspect got away on. Near the pond, investigators found this backpack linked to the shooter. In it, police sources tell us, a jacket and Monopoly money.
Some kind of statement.
Yeah, no, apparently this was another thing. In his in that rucksack, there was all this Monopoly money. So that was some sort of a message. I think there was a message on the bullets themselves. He's supposed to have left some sort of, they're calling it a manifesto, but of course we don't know the exact contents of it yet, because quite often these type of killers, they leave a manifesto, don't they, what their mission statement is, etc. So it seems that he left some sort of a manifesto. We'll have a look at that in a minute.
some kind of is there some messaging that has to be figured out?
The police also built a timeline starting 10 days before the shooting, November 24th, when they say the suspect arrived in New York by bus just after 10 p.m. He immediately took a taxi to the scene of the crime. He took another taxi to a hostel on the Upper West Side where he checked in using a fake ID and was spotted on a security camera without his mask. On December 4th, police say the suspect is seen leaving the hostel at 5:30 in the morning and arriving near the Hilton 11 minutes later. He was seen walking nearby, ordering at Starbucks, then waiting for Thompson, who crossed 6th Avenue at 6:44 a.m. Today's new video giving us more detail of that. 45.
Yeah, he knew exactly where he was going to be. Also there was another person walking past. I mean, God, they were out of there quick, as you can imagine. There was a car right near, he did it really very publicly. Maybe he wasn't bothered if he got caught or not, because he was very public about the way he did it. He didn't, and how did he know that he was going to be there at that exact moment in time? He's obviously researched him, stalked him, or was somebody else giving him the information? So there's a lot more to unpick from this case.
5 minutes later, police say the suspect was seen at the bus station by the George Washington Bridge, but not seen since. At UnitedHealthcare headquarters in Minnesota this weekend, fencing going up as security is reassessed. Police have not established a motive, but say they found no evidence the killing had anything to do with Thompson's personal life. UnitedHealthcare is declining to answer questions posed by ABC News, including whether the company has offered to contribute to the reward money for information leading to an arrest. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened. Sorry, pressed the wrong button there. Hi, Yvonne. Yeah, so, I mean, it's not been established yet what the motive was. So they're talking, obviously the police aren't going to talk about all the ins and outs of what they found so far, because there's going to be a court case coming up, isn't there? Let's just have another look at him again. So look. Very handsome guy. Handsome, these are the sort of photos that are coming out. So he's thrown his life away, really, isn't it? So it must be something important, I suppose, for him to throw his life away. So that's two lives, really, that are lost, if you like. The guy that he shot, but also, unless he thought he wasn't going to get caught. But, you're likely to get caught, aren't you? And was he bothered if he got caught or not? But yeah, handsome guy. His family are well off, apparently. He's like probably not the person that you'd associate with doing something like this. Let's have a look at some information about him. So he was finally arrested in Pennsylvania, in Altoona. I think it was in a McDonald's again. So he's obviously likes his McDonald's. And he was arrested on weapons charges after they found him carrying a gun, a fake ID from New Jersey with the same identification as the suspect who the suspect used to check into a New York hostel, and also identification with his real name. So that's what he was arrested for. Let me just share this article that I'm reading. So in addition to the gun and fake identification, police also found a 3-page handwritten note on which Mangione, in which he appeared to express ill will towards corporate America. Joseph Kenney, the chief of detectives at the New York City Police Department, said at a news conference on Monday. The document speaks to both his motivation and mindset. So he's obviously in this note talked about his talked about his motives in this note, and they're calling it a manifesto. So there was a press conference. In fact, I'm going to try and find the press conference. Is this it? Hang on. see. This probably it, is it? Yeah. Let's have a look at the press conference. Oop, hang on, there's no sound.
Blood. America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint. I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system, and I have worked to address that throughout my career. But I have no tolerance, nor should anyone, for one man using an illegal ghost gun to murder someone because he thinks his opinion matters most. In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at MacDonalds this morning. The real heroes every day in our society are the women and men who put on uniforms like these and go out in our communities to keep us safe. This killer was not a hero. He should not be hailed.
Well, good luck with that, because he's going to be hailed as a sort of anti-hero, isn't he? You can see, you know, as I say, he's a good-looking guy. There'll be women writing to him in prison, and men probably as well writing to him in prison. Maybe his flirting days are over, but he'll be able to do a little bit of flirting in prison, I suppose. I don't know what his sort of preferences are, but he's not going to get much choice, but he'll get some choice. But yeah, he'll be an anti-hero. There'll be fan clubs springing up. I mean, fan clubs even spring up for like serial killers and that, you know. So someone like him, who a lot of people will see as a hero or a sort of anti-hero, I suppose, he's going to get a lot of attention, isn't he? Is going to get a lot of attention, and I understand that, guys. You know, I agree with him. Heroes are the people that go out and try and protect people every day. He's not a hero. It's not a hero to shoot someone in the back, whatever. You know, to just sort of creep up behind someone and shoot him in the back is not a heroic thing to do, is it? It's a cowardly thing to do, because didn't even give him a chance to say anything. There are other ways he could have done it. Let me just have a look. There's a couple of things on Twitter that I just want to share. Let's see. Because obviously it's all over social media, you can imagine. So this is from Jennifer Coffindaffer, and she always seems to know things that are going on, because obviously she's got contacts in the FBI, because she used to be in the FBI. But the assassin of Brian Thompson was heir to a fortune made by his grandfather. His grandfather had 10 children. He worked his way up from nothing. He truly realized the American dream that so many have. Where did it all go so wrong? So it's true. You know, I think this shows, you know, it's not always people from terrible backgrounds that do bad things. You know, people can have the most privileged background you can imagine, and they still go on to do terrible things sometimes. Some people have got it in them. I mean, you know, as much as probably there's so many people out there that are frustrated with corporate America or all sorts of things, how many of us would even consider killing someone? You have to have something different inside you for that, don't you? Because killing someone is a big thing. You know, it's a big, and he shot him quite a few times. He was determined to kill him. And then his gun jammed, didn't it? And he went forward and still carried on sort of trying to kill him. It wasn't like a half-hearted attempt to scare him or whatever. He was determined he was going to kill him. So how many people, as much as we might be angry, you know, about things, how many people actually could go through with it and kill another human being? I think it's quite difficult for most people, isn't it? You know, it's a big thing to kill someone. So anyway, so she's saying, where did it all go wrong? You know, what a waste. And it is a waste. It's a waste of his, obviously, his victim's life. So this is apparently, I don't know, she's put this up as something to do with his family. I don't know what this is. But yeah, so he had quite a bit of money as well, or his family did. There he is, looking like butter wouldn't melt in his shirt and tie. I say, handsome guy is going to get lots of fan mail. You can depend on that. 100% he's going to be celebrated. You know, as well as some people will condemn it, a lot of people will celebrate him. And then we've got JLR asking if UnitedHealthcare had any financial dealings with his family business. His grandfather founded a senior living and nursing home company called Lorien Health Services, where Luigi volunteered when he was in high school. So his family is connected to health services in a sort of loose way as well. Yeah, it makes you wonder, is there more to it? Is there more to it? Then we've got his roommate, his former roommate, saying what a nice person he was.
Co-living, which is a co-living space for remote workers in Hawaii. And like so
when you met him, he was already in his 20s. And where was he at that point in his life, and what made him stand out to you?
He applied to live at Surf Break Co-living, which is a co-living space for remote workers in Hawaii. And like so many of our members, he wanted to be healthier, enjoy the tropics, live a new life in Hawaii. And I actually did the first interview with him. He talked about being excited to meeting new people, getting healthy again, because he mentioned he had a back. I don't know if it was an injury or pre-existing, and that he was doing everything he could to, you know, not be in pain. All the people that, you know, we lived together with.
Yeah, make sure, was that any connection with it? So he had he was in pain. He had some sort of issue going on there. Maybe he'd been denied his insurance. Who knows? And
that we were still friends with, and that I've spoken to today, have nothing but extremely positive things to say from him. Anar is just shocked and crushed, as I am, that, you know, something like this, that he went about something like this. It really seems, from the person that I lived with, it seems unimaginable. You know, it's not like the people who say, oh, I can't believe the person next door is a serial killer and they've got bodies buried. He was a genuinely generous, kind person. He'd walk people home at night. He was just thoughtful.
There you go. And how many times do we see that sort of thing? Oh, yeah, such a nice person. I can't believe it. You know, he's just, let's have a look what Sky News have got
one of America's biggest health insurance firms in New York last week. Police have, in the past couple of hours, charged this man, 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, with murder and several other offences. He was recognised by staff at a MacDonalds in the town of Altoona in the bordering state of Pennsylvania. They then rang police. Now, there is some flash photography coming up in what you're about to see. This is Mangione arriving at the courthouse earlier. This was before the murder charge was brought against him. At that time, he'd been charged with a range of other offences. Police say he was found with a gun consistent with the shooting of Brian Thompson last Wednesday, and a document which showed ill will towards corporate America. They also say he had a fake ID and became visibly nervous when asked if he had been in New York in the past few days.
So they didn't take him long to catch him. You know, just a lot of people have said that as well, that maybe, you know, it's because of it being someone from corporate America that they've sort of worked so hard and so quickly to find his killer. Would they? Oh, look, Jennifer's always got the... That's why I follow Jennifer, because look, she's always got the photos and what have you. You know, she's... Anyway, this is his fake driving license. Yeah, she's always got the info, Jennifer. So that's the gun. And yeah, we've seen the picture of him shooting. Yeah, so why is this, if he's, you know, according to his roommate, he was kind, you know, kind, thoughtful guy, but he's gone and literally killed someone, and he's killed him in cold blood. It takes a lot to kill someone in cold blood, I think. A certain sort of person. Ivy Leaugue. Let's have a look at these. Oh, so he's on, that looks like he's on, LinkedIn. And he's got this connection to Hawaii as well. So this photo might be in Hawaii, but yeah. So he'll be a pin-up now for a lot of people. He'll be a hero, a sort of anti-hero for so many people. I'm surprised he took his balaclava down here. Must have known there's CCTV in wherever that is. Like somebody was saying in chat, I think it was quizzical, that it was at the hostel. That flirty moment revealed his face for someone to recognise. And JLR is saying that there was quite a few people in his comments supporting this crime. You can't support murder, in my opinion, no matter what. And as I say, there's more to come out about this case, but no matter what, it is not, it's just not a good thing, is it, to go and shoot someone in the back like that? It's just not what you should do. Hi, Angel. Oh, I wish I was still curled up in bed, Yvonne, with the dogs. It's so cold here. It's gone to 2 degrees now. It's 2 degrees now here in Spain. Oh, it was 0 degrees when I got up. I've got 2 jumpers on. I'm all layered up. I've got to go down now into a cold classroom and give classes, but it is a bit chilly down there. Anyway, there you go. I'll survive. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back later anyway when I've got a gap in between classes today. Still got loads of other things I want to talk about. There's always something to talk about, isn't there? Always something to talk about in the crime world. But I just thought I'd come on before I go into classes, just talk about that, because I haven't talked about this yet. And yeah, I'm sure you'll all let me know what you think. Do you think, that's an acceptable thing to do, whatever you think of corporate America or corporate anyway? It's not only America, is it? There's lots of corruption goes on in every country. There's all that in Britain there was over the PPE equipment and everything. I say Michelle Mone, not only her, there are loads of people that profited from COVID, profited from other people's misery. It happens all the time. Most rich people have got their on the backs of other people, haven't they? So, but is it acceptable to literally gun someone down and shoot them in the back as they're just walking down the street? In my opinion, no, but I'm sure people have different opinions. Hi, Musical. Right, so I'm going, but I'll see you all later. So have a good day or a good afternoon or a good evening, wherever you are. And until I see you again, may your God go with you. And please don't forget to leave your DNA on the like button. Bye.